The Sefer Yetzirah says this of the path of Samech. The 25th path is the intelligence of probation or temptation, and it is so called because it is the primary temptation by which the Creator tries all righteous persons. Within the soul lies the guiding entity with all the instinct and intuition needed to remain on one's path, with all the memory of one's past, and with a conscience to temper one's decisions and actions to procure fulfillment along that path. But so much in life draws us away from that path. We are drawn away for short periods sometimes, drawn by fascinations and intrigues, but other times our soul deviates completely from its course, resulting in travesty and sickness, losing the connection to its virtues and from its guiding conscience. The path of Samech is called the testing consciousness because it is the means by which the soul is tested to remain on the righteous path. This path, when adhered to, leads straight up the middle pillar, from Yesod and its creativity to Tiferet and its humanity. Thus the soul remains in tune by perceiving its heart and center with pure imagination. One's conscience overrides basic desire and outward intrigue to be present in the stream of creation and therefore be present in the soul itself. Samech administrates probation when the heart's conscience places supervision over one's creativity. One may be drawn to create oneself under the influence of Netzach, delving into desires, emotions, and drama, but this is a deviation from the path that is straight to the place of beauty, Tiferet. One may also be drawn to create oneself under the influence of Hod, giving over to analysis and thought, mental processes, judgment and theorization, but again while the soul is engaging the mind in Hod, it is not on the path where the Ruach creates directly through the Nefesh. And so from all things that tempt us from who we really are, we must supervise and prohibit ourselves from indulging in distraction and in procrastination, or our soul may get lost or stuck. When the soul is lost, we may get sick, or some disaster or trauma will come along to goad it back onto its path, lest each being may listen to and follow the signs. Thus, Samech is the ability to take on the challenges that life presents, to remain orientated towards one's goal and the purpose of enhancing and maintaining spiritual connection and communion. Samech is the ability to see and be on the soul's path, to utilize Netzach and Hod to remain on this path, rather than to indulge the mind and emotions into deviation or even corruption. In Samech, one must oscillate between thought and feeling to gain a sense of the soul in its rightful place. Samech means prop, as in a stick that props up the center of a tent. It lifts the canopy up and gives a clear field of vision around the body. Samech may also refer to how we feel within ourselves at any given time. When we feel good, we feel propped up inside, open and clear, centered in our presence and beauty. When we feel bad, the prop is not lifting us so high, and we feel collapsed in upon ourselves, downtrodden, sick or depressed. Through right mind in Hod and behavior in Netzach, we can lift the prop and keep it up, as long as we are not tempted away from that righteous expression. The prop of Samech is also the experience of entering upon the astral plane. Through Yesod, we release from the physical into the incorporeal astral body. It then walks, or for that matter flies, out across the planes of our dreaming. Without adequate mental and emotional constraint in the process of astral traveling, one is easily distracted to fall into unconscious dream, or to wake up and be bound to the physical realm. Any ritual to be of effective power must engage the soul's presence upon the astral plane. Once there, we may scry, we may invoke, we may evoke, or we may cast off unwanted spirits or entities. Samech is the prop that opens up the astral planes, that we may rise upon these planes, up along the runs of the tree of life. From the earth-bound realm, we are released and enter upon the sentient presence of the soul. In Samech, when our nefesh and ruach reconcile and feeling and thought unite, a plane opens up inside us and our soul is given freedom. Samech is the prop that lifts one's perception to an eagle's eye point of view, opens the astral planes within, and places the soul's presence within it. This has a healing effect and brings artistic vision and prophecy. The shape of Samech is circular, alluding to the limitless Ein Sof that has no beginning or end. It is where the infinite being of God is brought down to link the realm of the soul with the earth-bound astral plane. In this way, it inspires us to be ambitious and enterprising. It is the force through which the soul is drawn down to inhabit a body and incarnate. Its ring shape is a metaphor of the ring worn in wedding vows and the pledge of eternal love, as when our soul descends to the earth in an incarnation, we indeed have made a pledge to do tikkunim, to evolve and rectify our imperfections, to absolve karma. The most effective way to do this is to cultivate love in life. Indeed, Samech is a path of enduring and meaningful relationships, friendships, and cooperation. The zodiac of Samech is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the archer, often portrayed as the centaur, half man, half horse. It refers specifically to the centaur Chiron, who was known for his youth-nurturing nature. His foster father Apollo, the sun god and representation of Tiferet, who taught the young centaur the art of medicine, herbs, music, archery, hunting, gymnastics, and prophecy. And made him rise above his beastly nature. Chiron, in self-sacrifice, voluntarily renounced his immortality in favor of Prometheus, the god of fire, and his plight to bring spirit to humanity. The half-man, half-horse symbolism is significant, joining the civilized, Hellenic, cultivated humanity to the indulgent, sensual, wild, barbaric side of nature. For Sagittarius, as Samech links the Nefesh to the Ruach. The Nefesh is our lower soul, our base animus, our earth spirit and instinct lies within it. In the Nefesh is our animal guide, our totem, in this case a horse. And the Ruach is our humanity and its intelligent enhancement through the angels, the Melechim. Sagittarians are seekers with the ability to aim towards a goal, navigate towards it, resist distraction, and arrive at the target destination. Through their migration, they indulge in a philosophical and meaningful approach from their internal quest as they engage life with their spirit. They express strong will and independence and are keen for adventure and travel upon the earth and the inner astral planes. They like to stretch their horizons. They are open-hearted, generous and big-spirited. They are adaptable, bold, curious, and have visionary abilities. Sagittarius is the direction towards the center of the Milky Way galaxy. In this galactic center, within Sagittarius is the black hole, which generates the spin of our galaxy. The dark annihilating force at the center of our galaxy reflects the dark power we gain as we enter our soul's core and center. The more we bring light into this dark center, the more we rectify the soul from its klipotic influence, its sitra achra, the more we annihilate our dualistic outward nature to dissolve back into the oneness of Ein Sof. Samech crosses the path of Peh on the tree of life. Thus, the excitement of Peh is often the lure that drives one off our path and direction. It is the stimulus that seduces us into temptation. With the need to constantly overcome the distractions in life, Sagittarians thrive on expression and progression and follows a distinct direction. It can therefore be quite linear and straightforward. Sagittarius maintains its direction with the aid of its ruling planet Jupiter, for without its legacy-building perspective, its love and prosperity, the soul would wander the earth aimlessly and indulgently, without gaining meaning or expanding consciousness, and would lose its vitality and humanity. Samech, Sagittarius, is not about dominating our lower soul into submission. It is about uniting with it. Our lower soul has needs. It needs to be nourished, fed, sexed, and it needs stimulus for it to remain creative, alive and healthy, and to grow. Our body is a temple, and our spirit within that body like an animal that must be treated with chasadim, with loving kindness. Thus, being humane is about being kind to all that is not human, as well as to other humans. At the same time, we cannot let the animal in us run too wild and tempt the soul away from its path into corruption. Living only to fulfill desire leads to addiction and bad habits and falsity. Our animus must be kept in check, in probation. Sagittarius works the human side of us and the animal side together as one being. This unity promotes the expression of the spirit and acts as a prop in its own right to open out the planes before the soul, upon which we may then create with focus. Thus the archer is mindful in Hod and holds focus with his arrows, and is aware of all that is animated with Netzach upon the plain before him. Sagittarius rules the thighs, the upper legs. It has two primary expressions: to stand still or go forth. Between them is anticipation. And so the countenance of Sagittarius is the part of us that takes aim in stillness and then lets fly. As a result, Sagittarians are very expressive, engaging mind and emotion, heart and soul. The tarot of Samech is Temperance, the daughter of the reconcilers. To reconcile is to make compatible. The Ruach and Nefesh and their sometimes conflicting natures are made compatible through temperance. The traditional tarot card of Temperance shows a woman upon a plain holding two vases, one upright and the other upside down. Waters flow between the two vases in both directions, signifying the higher and lower souls mingling. The lunar-centered Nefesh adds its animated spirit to the solar-centered Ruach, and the Ruach contributes its humane harmony and beauty to the Nefesh. Thus the Ruach, which can be constrained and morally focused, is soothed by the sensuality of the Nefesh. And the Nefesh, which can be wild, selfish and lustful, is given direction and finds its center within the Ruach. In temperance, liberty comes as the reconciling of above and below, Ruach and Nefesh, male and female, in unity. The example of this path is not just symbolized by the centaur, half human, half horse, but with all mythological creatures that incorporate the animal and human. Indeed, each animal offers a different degree of temperance and spiritual power and expression. It is a mode of totemic fusion. It is a psychic extension across a plane from an extended perspective. The action of the Partsuf of temperance is to temper the soul, lest one could lose one's temper. The fiery path of Sagittarius is truly powerful indeed. It has the power of creation, the power to heal, and the power to procure the vision of the soul upon the inner planes. It connects the vital soul and creative power to the central soul and its higher intelligence, and it connects the sun and moon together on one plane. But that power which dwells in the loins of Yesod is easily tempted into corruption and must be supervised by the Ruach and higher mind in Tiferet. With our lower and middle souls reconciled, a space opens out inside of us, a plane upon which the soul is liberated and may move with great sense of freedom and creativity. The prop of Samech is how our soul rides our spirit, how it drives the body like a vehicle. Samech is the driving action of the Merkava, the vehicle upon which the soul rides, the instrument of prophecy, propelled into its destiny and through the layers of its own evolution. The prop is like a gear stick to the momentum of the soul vehicle. Through Samech, we have the power to propel our creative efforts in life, to propel our body into vitality and health, and to propel our soul along its destined path, dissolving into the oneness of Ein Sof.